Good morning, afternoon, or nighttime. I don't know when you're watching this devotional, but my name is Jesse, and I'm glad we get to kind of dive in together. So, as I was looking through the book of Luke, something that stood out to me was the story of Zacchaeus. And in the story of Zacchaeus, I know you're already on your phone, but if you have a physical Bible, if you want to go to Luke 19, I'll just read off verses 1 through 10 real quick. Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through. A man was there by the name of Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was wealthy. He wanted to see who Jesus was, but because he was short, he could not see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today." So he came down at once and welcomed him gladly. All the people saw this and began to mutter, "He has gone to the guest of a sinner." But Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, "Look, Lord, here now I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount." To where Jesus said in verse 9, "Today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost." Something I didn't realize until I was paying a little bit more attention to it, but Zacchaeus' name actually translates to pure one. And he is the head tax collector, meaning he's notorious, meaning a lot of people in his community do not like him. So much so that they mumbled behind his back saying that he's a notorious sinner. And yet Jesus still goes to his house to eat and share a meal. But yet Zacchaeus, he's like the rich guy in town. So if you think about like Elon Musk, he might be a person. Or if you think of like Oprah Winfrey, or if you think of Denzel Washington, maybe y'all don't know who that is, but I hope you do. If you think about a rich individual being willing to be embarrassed to meet Jesus, because Zacchaeus, he climbed a fig tree, a sycamore fig tree, so that he can be seen by Jesus, meaning he didn't care about being embarrassed by everybody that was around him. Have you ever wanted to pursue Jesus so bad that you would be willing to be embarrassed in front of your community? That's how bad Zacchaeus wanted to meet Jesus. And yet, Jesus wants to get food with him. He wants to get a meal. He wants to be in community with Zacchaeus. So much so that he goes to his house. Zacchaeus has this change of heart, and Jesus recites, "He comes for those that are lost." So Jesus, as I just kind of close out, Jesus comes for the tax collector. The guy that everybody in town said is a notorious sinner. Jesus comes for the person that steals from Big Five, some electronics. Jesus comes for the person that messed up last week as they were studying in their friend group. Jesus comes for people that mess up and slip. And my hope is that we can remember we are not that far from Zacchaeus. We are not that far from that tax collector. We are actually very close. But yet there's hope in knowing that Jesus comes to those who are lost. And so my leaving question for you is, what's something that has kept you far from Christ? What's that thing, habit that brings disconnection from a relationship with Jesus? Because Jesus knows you. And he still wants to get a meal with you, and he invites you into his kingdom. Thanks for being on this journey with me. And if you see me around campus, I hope we can chat soon.